everyone. This is our first yoga and meditation we're doing at the barn for everyone that wants to join us. And we're also recording it in case people want to join in the future. And I'm going to do a few technical things about yoga before we start. And yoga is a practice. And by practice, it means when your body says, we're good now, that's where you stay and really honor your body, because there's no one right way to do yoga, and that's probably why I do it. So really trust if we're doing a pose and it doesn't feel like it, or your hips go, then stop doing whatever you're doing and come back to a pose that is helpful to your body. And I'm going to have Janet demonstrate a child's pose right now, just as a relaxation. If at any pose you just need to take a break and go into child's pose, you can put your arms out in front of you, put your head on your mat, and your toes can touch behind you, and your knees can be out. You can just breathe in and out from this pose. And at any point, if you need to sit, go ahead and sit. My name is Molly DePruckle, and I am one of the staff out here at Hold Your Horses. And welcome. For those of you on the computer, welcome, and for those of you in our circle, welcome. So I would just invite you to take a comfortable seat anywhere on your mat. You can cross your legs out in front of you and sit. You can find your sits bones and just have your hands, your palms facing up to just receive the energy from earth. We're going to do some yoga poses today and receive in nature. And I'm going to start by just clearing the space and doing a little bit with the singing bowl. And all your job is right now is to inhale and exhale. And as we start, again, I'm inviting nature to come in and be with us today as we practice. And I brought some nature pieces in with some shells and some feathers and some wood and rocks, all part of who we are as nature today. And I'm going to read, oh, and I also brought Bentley for those of you who wanted to come in, and I said, well, we'll bring him in spirit. So I'm going to start with just a couple things that I would like you to keep in mind today as we're starting our practice. And this came from a colleague of mine, Laura Rinkerhoff, who is an equine therapy practitioner in Arizona. And she had just some quarantine questions. So this is what we're going to concentrate on in our practice as we check in with nature today. What am I grateful for today? Who am I checking in on and connecting with today? What expectations of normal am I letting go of today? How am I getting outside today? How am I moving my body today? What beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inviting in today? So in your mind's eye, I will have you keep those questions in your practice. And at any point, if you have a question, we have a small group online too, so just shout it out and I will do my best. And I'm going to invite you to just come to the top of your mat, or if you're seated, you can just stand. And we're going to start in mountain pose at the top of our mat. And just breathe in and out. And in honoring nature, we're going to connect with our ocean breath today, which is breathing in through your nose and exhale an ocean wave through your mouth. And inhale through your nose. And take that ocean breath out. And those of us in the barn can actually see our breath, so we can really see the wave of the ocean. So in through your nose again. And this next one, we're going to keep our mouth closed and inhale through the nose. And see if you can blow that nostril breath out as a wave. Really comes from the back of your throat. So inhale through your nose and exhale. We're creating our own beaches here today. Inhale and exhale. So the next pose is you're just going to bring your arms up overhead with a little bend in your knee. Inhale, and then do a rainbow all the way to the ground. And exhale, bend at your hips. And see if you can touch your hands to the ground or your legs. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. And then we're going to inhale, bring your hands right under your knees and look forward with a straight back. And exhale back to forward fold. We're going to rise up into the mountain pose, hands overhead, and then bring them down to heart center and an exhale. And I'm going to invite you for a warm up to do that on your own 3 times. And I'll guide you through the first one again. So inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands right below your knees, looking forward. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And go ahead and do that 2 more times on your own, and we'll meet back in mountain pose. And as you exhale, I'm just going to invite you to step back with your right foot and your left foot, and then bend down. And you're going to be in tabletop, so your knees are on your mat, and your hands are in front of you. And you want, remember, 5 hands, and your elbows right above your hands. And we're just going to do a little cat and cow in honor of Mittens and Kubota. So just breathe in. Head comes forward, and then exhale, round your back down at your knees, and then inhale, cow, exhale to cat. Inhale, we're going to do this 5 times. And then we have Cora with us today. So in honor of Cora, I'm just going to have you start to wag your tail a little bit. So just take your eyes and gaze to the left, and take your bum into the left, and then to the right, gaze to the right, bum to the right, and just wag your tail a little bit. And then honoring everybody who's on the hunt for peanut butter, we're going to just take your whole backside and your back end and pretend you're scraping up a peanut butter jar until you're going to come forward and go back to the left, back to the right, come forward to the right, forward to the left, and just scrape out that peanut butter jar. And if your body so chooses, go ahead and go the other way. Scrape out that peanut butter jar. Make sure you're not the last one to eat the last peanut butter in your house. And when you're ready, just come back to hands and knees. And I'll invite you to sit down, bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to make our legs long. And take a breath here. Just make sure that you're sitting on your sit bones. On an inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And on an exhale, just reach for your toes. Just a little bit of a stretch in your back. We're not going all the way down, just come as far as your body wants. And then inhale back, rise up. And exhale, fold, and bring your arms forward. And one more time. Inhale back, up. And then exhale, fold. Okay, and now I'm going to ask you to just cross your legs and bring them towards your sit bones. I'm just going to sit here for a moment. We're not forcing our knees down. Our hips might be tight from being cold. We're not working out yet. Just sit for a moment. And then on your inhale, you're going to take your right hand behind your back on the right. Raise your left hand up and exhale. Take your left hand to your right knee. And then inhale here and exhale. Just turn your gaze towards your right hand and look over your right shoulder. Do a little twist. And stay here for a few breaths. And then on your next inhale, gaze forward, left hand to left knee, right hand to right knee. And take a moment just to gaze forward and find your drishti, which is a spot in front of you that you can focus on, that you can breathe with, that you can just let go of anything but your body sitting here now. And then on your next inhale, you're going to take that right or left arm, and put it behind you. And exhale that left or that right arm up into your left knee. Breathe in. And on your next exhale, just fold over that left shoulder with your gaze and twist as much as your body is able and wants to today. Let's stay here for a breath. And then on your next inhale, bring that gaze forward. Take your right hand to your right knee and your left hand to your left knee. And then go ahead and put your legs out in front of you and just let them move up and down for a bit. Just wake them up. We're going to make a little bit of thunder on your mat with your legs. Perfect. Okay. And then in honor of spring and the butterflies coming, just take your legs out to the side and put your toes together and your heels together and pull them in and make a little butterfly. And breathe here. And just imagine all the beauty of the butterflies coming soon. And your legs Now you take your hands on the outside of your knees and bring your legs together with your knees. And just give yourself a little hug right here. If you want, you can bring your feet off the mat. You don't have to. But just give yourself a little hug and swing a little side to side. One sit belongs to the other. Again, waking up your spine, your hips. I call it giving your spine a little kiss here. And then we're going to stick our knees back on the mat and come back to tabletop. So put your legs out behind you a little bit. Come back to tabletop. And again, a little bit more cat and cow. And then from here, you're going to tuck your toes under. And you're going to come up to downward facing dog. And for those of you that know it, go ahead. For those of you that don't, number 5 hands forward. Just take your toes to the mat and lift your hips. And you're going to be like in a V formation. Your head is between your hands. And if you want, you can pedal out your feet if they need to stretch a little bit. And then back down to tabletop. Let your toes go. Look up. One more cat and cow. And then toes tucked under. Inhale and exhale to downward dog one more time. And this time, shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Just give your neck a little ability to move. Yes, I love being outside. No, being stuck in the house is not always fun. Yes, I'm handling it. And then go ahead and step your right foot forward and your left foot forward to meet your hands. And you're going to be in a forward fold. And then inhale, rise up to mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. And at the top of your mat, we're going to do a little bit of warrior poses. And those are about just stretching out again, core, hips. So you're going to take your hands from heart center. You're going to lift your right foot up, step it behind you, and it's going to point a little to the right side of the room. And your arms are just going to come up just from your midsection right out straight. And then you're going to bend that front left foot. And this is warrior 2. And just imagine that you're shooting out waves of light and love from that front hand. And just sink in. Make sure you have a tight core and belly here. And just breathe in warrior. And then you're going to follow me and we're going to do a reverse warrior. So your left hand is just going to flip and you're going to come way up to the sky and your right arm's going to travel down your right leg just as much as you're able and your gaze is going to be up to the ceiling, up to the sky. And stay here for a breath. Bend front knee. And then on your next exhale, come back to warrior 2. And you're going to sweep your arms forward and down. And step your right foot to the top of your mat and go down into ragdoll again. And then on your next inhale, you're going to come up to half lift, look forward. Exhale, back down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to heart center. Take a moment and a breath here. And then you're going to rise up with that left foot. Place it behind you. Turn it out to the left a little bit. Bend that front knee. Arms in front and back. Reach forward with your body. Bring your belly breath in. Work from core. Sink in and just rays of light from your hand again. And then you're going to take that left arm down your left leg, bring that right arm up on your inhale, and gaze up. And then back to warrior 2. And step to the top of your mat. Arms raise up and lower. And inhale, half lift. And lower into forward fold. And rise up on an inhale. And exhale to heart center. And now we're going to do that series again, and I'm going to add one more pose called the triangle. So you're going to rise up, hands to heart center, step your right foot back, arms to the side, bend that left knee. Stay here for a moment. On your next inhale, straighten that left leg, take your left arm down, your left leg, and your right arm goes straight up. And you're going to look to the right and triangle. And you can have your hand on your leg below your knee. If you want, you can stretch it further down. Stay here for a breath. And then come up, bend that front leg back to warrior two. And then we're going to do a reverse triangle. So straighten that leg again. Bring that left arm to the sky and that right leg down. Right arm on your right leg and look up. And then bend your front leg. Come back to warrior two. Again, sweep your arms forward, step to the front of your mat, into that forward fold. Rise up to a half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to, from this place, we're going to inhale. Again, exhale, hands to heart center, and place that left foot back. Pointing to the left a little bit, bend that right knee. Right arm goes forward, left arm goes behind. Stay here for a moment. Again, warrior two, straighten that front leg. Shift your hips forward. Take that right arm down your right leg and that left arm up to the sky. And again, don't overdo your body. Follow what your body's asking for. Looking up at your hands if you want, or looking over to the left. Stay here for a breath. And exhale that knee. Come back to warrior two. Straighten that leg on the inhale. We're going to gaze up at your right hand. The left arm travels down, and it's to that reverse triangle. Gazes up. And bend that knee. Come forward with your other leg. Sweep your arms down to the earth for a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And come back up. And hands to heart center. And now we're just going to do a little bit of a counter pose before we do some balance poses. So take both of your hands and just place them on your low back. You're going to inhale and pull from your core, and just exhale and do a baby back bend. Stay here for a moment, gazing up. Then come back to center. Shake out your legs. Shake out your arms. Give yourself credit for your practice. And again, one more time, hands back to your low back. Inhale, bring that core up. And gaze up and exhale, just a baby back bend. This time you might want to bring your shoulder blades together a little bit. And look up to the sky. And exhale, hands down at your sides. The next one we're going to do is tree pose. So tree pose is a balance pose. And I want to just honor the trees today because they are talking. If you have been outside, they are windy and just clear in the air and talking and feeling like, okay, let's bring some healing. There's a little bit of a discussion between the north wind and the south wind about who's going to take over. We're hoping for the south wind. So we're going to honor the leaves, the trees, the blowing of the wind. So you're just going to take your right foot out to the side, pointing to the right, and your toes are on the earth and they're just leaning up against your left leg. And then your hands come to heart center and stay here for a moment. If you so choose, you can bring that leg up just a little bit on the right so that it is pushing up against your left calf. You do not want it against your knee. And for those of you that really want to, you can try bringing it up higher, or you can keep it right here on the earth. And then on your inhale, just rise up and let your fingers get guided by the wind and just be a maple and let your leaves move on your fingers. And then come up with your arms straight to the sky and be an oak tree. Right now we're called to be solid like an oak tree and connected. And feel the earth and the grounding in your feet. And gratitude for trees. And then on your exhale, rainbow your arms down to the side. Come out of the pose with your leg. Turn it forward and bring it back to the earth. And shake out your legs. And then on the left side, you're going to bring your left toes against your right leg. Stay here. Hands come to heart center. If you want to extend that, you can bring your leg up a little bit. Or you can stay on the earth. And again, inhale, bring those arms up overhead. And this time sway a little bit with your arms and be flexible like a willow tree. We're strong oaks and flexible willows, all at the same time. This time on the planet calls for flexibility and strength. And when you're ready, inhale and exhale, rainbow your arms down to your sides. Bring your feet to the earth and just feel the roots from the planet going into the bottom of your feet, keeping you grounded, keeping you connected to all of the trees on the planet. Feel that root system shooting out. And breathe here. We're going to do one more balance pose from a standing position. So go ahead and again, just bend those knees, shake out the body a little bit, and we're going to do an eagle pose. And that one is, we're going to take, first of all, a chair position. So your inhale and your arms come just right by your ears. Drop your shoulders a little bit and sit as if you're sitting in a chair. And take your left arm and wrap it around your right elbow. And if you can grab your thumbs. And I have to see what's happening on the screen, but go ahead and take your your left foot and wrap it around your right. Okay. They're wanting me to upgrade on Zoom. We're just going to stay here. So go ahead and unwrap your legs back to the earth. And inhale and then exhale and unwrap your arms. And then again, we're going to sit as if we're sitting in a chair. Lower your shoulders so they don't hug your ears. Take your right arm, wrap it around underneath your left. Grab that thumb if you want. Take that right foot, wrap it around your left. You can keep your toes on the ground. If you want, you can lift your right foot. But sit your butt as you're sitting in a chair. And feel the eagleness of yourself. Your wings take flight. You can see life from a very large picture. Sometimes we need to move away and up and above and down. Okay, unfurl those feet and unfurl those arms and stand straight up again. Arms up overhead, down center line to heart center for an exhale. And stay here for a moment. And I'm aware of a couple things. Zoom has informed me that we have about 10 minutes left. So we're gonna do a couple more stretches here, and then I'm gonna walk around outside because it's really important that we wanna connect with the horses today. So from this position, you're just gonna inhale and rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And again, you're going to take your toes behind you and you're going to go into downward facing dog on your exhale. And again, you can pedal out your feet. Stay here for a breath. And then you're going to inhale, come forward into plank. And you're going to exhale, you're going to bring your feet to the mat. You're going to exhale and you're going to bring your arms out in front of you. And you're going to go into that toes together, knees out into a child's pose. Take a breath here. And again, stay in child wonderment. And then inhale, rise up into tabletop. And exhale, your bottom to the mat and your legs come out in front of you. And again, we're going to rise up with our arms on an inhale and exhale, hands up over your toes. And stretch a little further this time. And inhale, back up. And exhale one more time, sitting forward fold. All right, and I'm going to invite you now to go ahead and lower down one vertebrae at a time on the mat. And we're going to do one more twist. So if you are able, bring your arms out to the side, open up that heart, and bring your knees up to your chest and drop them over to the right. If you're able. And bring your gaze to the left. Breathe here for this twist. And again, it feels like on the earth right now we're being asked to be twisted in all sorts of ways we're not used to. And we're learning and growing. And work just with your edges. And then bring your legs back to center. Give yourself a little hug. Rock a little side to side. And then take your legs over to the left. Your arms are still out, and your gaze can be to the right. And then on your next inhale, bring your gaze back to forward, or to the sky, excuse me. Bring your legs in, give yourself a hug. Rock side to side. Give your spine that just gentle twisting that it needs. If you want to, you can come up and down. And the last thing before Shavasana, I'm going to invite you to stick your toes in the air, grab those babies, and be a happy baby. And just rock side to side. Yes, this is being recorded. Oh, yeah. And bring those legs back down, feet to the earth, and stretch out for some Shavasana. And I'm going to play as you invite you to just pause, take a breath, lay down for a moment, and I'm going to read something and then I'm going to play a little bit of sound. So this first thing I'm reading is from Chris Heater, who's a local person that has an institute called the Wild Institute. She takes people out into nature. And then as you're laying in Shavasana or sitting, I'm going to play some rain sounds that I recorded in 2013 that come from the Galapagos, because I feel like we really need to connect as a whole planet today. So go ahead and just breathe in and breathe out, sitting or laying down in Shavasana. If we do this right. For those who still can, stepping outside right now is decidedly different. Even at busy times of day, the primary sounds are from birds, not cars, not people. The early migrators are returning. The year-round winged residents have changed their tune, from hushed winter chirps to rollicking spring song. Some eggs are laid, some are hatched. The natural world does not know this coronavirus. Sap is running, ice is thawing. Geese and swans fly in mighty bees, sometimes in hundreds. Buds are thickening. Leaves of strawberry plants are starting to green up. The first hint of yellow has appeared in my goldfinches at my feeder. Seedlings are germinating, breaking the surface, spindly but upright, rising toward the glowing light on the stand. Beavers swim, otters slide, young bucks are growing antlers. And here we are, we humans who have been abruptly halted by something we can't even see. Maybe it's our turn, from Dutch elm to oak wild to spruce budworm to endangerment and extinction. Life here on earth is not without peril, often if we are honest by our own hands. So how are we with our big brains to handle this? What might we glean from our wild cousins so familiar with adapting? Perhaps it's fortitude and the good sense to live with rather than against nature. Perhaps you will recognize connection to one another in bolder, more unflinching ways. If we do this right, and by that I mean with grace and compassion, perhaps we will see ourselves as strangers, really see ourselves for the global family that we are, and wrap our hearts and our mighty intellect around protecting, preserving, and caring for all who inhabit this beautiful world, and even the world itself. If we stand steady together in sickness and in health. So I'll invite you just to take a couple quiet moments with your own breath. Enjoy the rain of the Galapagos.